What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Working on the Duramax here. This is the second video I'm doing on this truck. I went ahead and I put this bumper back on, the lower balance on the bumper. Put that back on. I've got the grill out of it because I cleaned the air conditioner condenser out so it would flow a little bit better. I put the fender trim back on this side over here. I'll eventually do something with this fender, but for now I want to go ahead and stick that back on. It didn't cost me any money to do that, so I stuck it back on there. I washed the truck, got it looking a little bit better there. Then I'll pull the plastic off the top of the bed back there, and I will take that off and do some bed liner on top of that. And I was looking at the inside in here, cleaning everything up, and I about got her cleaned up. Got the steering wheel all out. See the back here? Turn the light on here, maybe you can see a little better. But been working this thing all day long, and about got it cleaned up here. And so what I found was on the tow haul and the manual shifting is a broken wire right here. Now I've already pulled it apart and stripped the ends back so that I can fix it, but it breaks right here in this little bracket. There was only one wire that was still connected, and that was the negative, whichever wire that operates the downshift button. It would downshift, but it wouldn't upshift, and the tow haul button did not work. So that's what I found, so I think that'll correct that problem. I'm going to strip these back, and I'm going to solder them back together and put a little heat shrink on them, fix that up. And I've got it running here just because I'm sitting here listening to the radio while I'm doing this and whatnot. And I took the clock spring off and looked at everything there, made sure everything was okay there. Just kind of going over everything, as I say, because I just bought the truck, and I will disconnect the batteries before I plug the airbag back up and clear the codes out and everything, because it's not a good idea to connect that back with the truck on and running for obvious reasons. But anyway, I just wanted to show that right there on the airbag, not the airbag, but the tow haul button that I ran into. And I'm going to get this thing buttoned back up, splice that, get it buttoned back up. And I bought a bunch of parts over here on the floor that I'm going to be doing in a little while. I've got some brand new precision axle shafts right there. I've got 3 gallons of antifreeze there. That one over there is just a jug of water that was already sitting there. I've got a hub assembly for the bad wheel bearing. This is a Master Pro brand. Not a really big fan of Master Pro, but that's all they have. That's all I could get my hands on today. I've got a upper radiator hose because the one that's on there has got a bad spot in it where somebody didn't put it back on correctly, and it's been rubbing on the brake master cylinder there. I did loosen the clamp up and slide it forward so it wouldn't rub as soon as I got it home, but I'm going to go ahead and replace it. It's a very narrow gap there, right here on the inside. That right there, you got to pay close attention to that stuff, because like I say, you just rub the hole in it and leave it set inside the road somewhere. So I'm going to put that on there. The axle shafts, they only had one in stock, but they went and got me another one from the other store. These were supposed to be brand new shafts, I believe. They didn't have a core or anything on them. They had a Master Pro shaft that was remanufactured, but it was the same price as the Precision because it had a core, and I don't have a core. But anyway, I'm going to get the front end tore down in a little while. That's just a little Freon and a few bolts. I went to Napa and got some metric bolts that I think is going to work to put those back in, because they didn't leave me anything to put the axle shafts back in. They left the bolts and everything out. So anyway, that's what I'm working on here in part 2. And I'm gonna go ahead and get this steering column job right back up, and we'll see you guys in part 3. All right, guys, I've got the repair made. I thought I would show it to you right here, what I got done. Hopefully the light is picking it up there. But I soldered all those, and it's a little bit of a pain in the butt because those wires are so tiny and they're so close together. They got it done. I'm gonna wrap some tape around that and tuck this away somewhere. I'll probably put it back down there, maybe zip tie it to this cable here, this tilt cable, or whatever that is. That's the parking lot cable, I think. Anyway, I'll probably zip tie it to that right there, and hopefully it won't break again. But it does function. See the dash up there, see the light. Let's see. And then the shifter stalk. Let me get my foot on the brake here. See it go up through the gears and down through the gears there. I don't know which way these come from the factory, but I did it where positive goes up a gear. I'm almost thinking that positive may be downshift from the factory or something for some reason, but anyway, you can connect. It is the black wires down there, and you can reverse them and make it however makes sense to you. What makes sense to me is positive goes up a gear and negative goes down a gear. That's what makes sense to me, so that's how I did it. And so you can do yours however you want to, I suppose, or just hook it up and don't worry about it and get used to it. Anyway, the white wires do not matter because they're just a momentary switch going to it. It's just like you're touching the wires together, letting off, touching the wires together, letting off. So I don't think it really matters on those. But anyway, that's the quick little repair. Now I got to put all this stuff back together. I didn't really put that part in this video, so hopefully you can figure out how to get this apart. There's not much to it. You have your airbag wherever it's at down there, and you got to go in through the steering wheel here with a little pick on each side in these little holes. Stick a small pick, screwdriver, something like this right wheel. That's a flathead. A Phillips screwdriver will fit through this hole like that on each side, and that will pull your airbag out. And there's just a nut right there on the steering wheel. It's that nut right there. You unscrew that, and you'll need a steering wheel puller, or you might can do what I did. I took a brass hammer and left the socket on the steering wheel shaft here, and pulled on the wheel and had somebody tap it, just, you know, not real hard, just a couple times with pressure on that wheel, and sometimes they'll pop off. But you're really supposed to have a steering wheel puller. Anyway, you pull the wheel off, and then all this plastic, it's got a couple screws in the bottom, and it just unsnaps from there. And this bottom piece has just got 2 screws down here. It's pretty self-explanatory once you get into it. Just take your time and go about it. And you really need to have the battery disconnected, and don't be like me and have the truck sitting here running. But I wanted to check and make sure it was going to operate and all that. And I'm going to cut it off, and I'm going to go out here and disconnect the battery before I hook the airbag back up and put the steering wheel all back on. But anyway, there's a fuse in here that controls that. I think it's actually the ignition fuse. You can see the new red fuse over here. I touched the wires together and popped the fuse. And so anyway, I got that taken care of, and now it's working, obviously. And so I'm going to go out here and disconnect the battery and go to putting this thing back together. So anyway, this is the end of part 2. I thought this was going to be part 3, but it's just going to be the add-on to the part 2. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video, which hopefully will be part 3.